Hello. So the last video we tapped this topic, but there's a lot more on this that I wanted to say. People wonder how they can maintain no contact. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to do no contact, Renee. Your video convinced me, but now how do I do it? How do I get there? How do I maintain it? How do I focus? How do I exert that decision and make it stick? And it's like it can be overwhelming because you're like, what do I do with all of this? With what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're dying to say to them, what you're dying to make them read. You want to type something this long. I've seen friends that they just don't even read. Oh yeah, I can't imagine the things that I sent to my narcissist that he probably didn't even read. And here I think I'm being so brilliant and I'm going to get through to him while I was in contact. It's all in how you think of things, I've learned, that help me finally stick to no contact. Because at some point that decision comes up, right? So at some point I did make the decision and I did stick to it. I gave myself little goalposts to reach, and you can use whatever goalposts you want. I remember doing Sundays because it was that hard. I can make it to Sunday. You can do anything for 5 days, 3 days, 7 days could be the most, right? You can do anything for that amount of time. I can make it to, okay, and then I can make it to the next Sunday. Before you know it, you're on a month. But you don't have to look at it in an overwhelming space and time of, I just am not ready to never speak to him again. Just take a week. Take it, before you know it, the more you learn, the more time you have away from that person, you may not want to contact them again. You just have to get through this time, this beginning time where you have all of this and you don't know what to do with it. And you're not ready to stop expelling your feelings upon this person or hearing what they have to say to you. You're not ready. You can't picture it. You have to get through this part. Just the action of not contacting them will help you get through this part faster. Otherwise, you will keep repeating this part. This is the hard part. And with every back and forth that you allow, you could end up right here. Knowing you shouldn't have contacted them, wishing you didn't, and wanting to be so far removed away from having had contact with them that you want to fast forward time. The only way to get healed is to start healing. And remind yourself of their behavior. Remind yourself of their behavior and think of their behavior as they were requesting you to leave them. They don't want us who behaves that way. They're not behaving in a way that exudes love or respect or wanting you. So stay away. Offer them what their behavior dictates that they are requesting. Your absence. No one who wanted you would have done this to you or that to you. If someone wants you, they show you. But the narcissist demonstrated something else. Demonstrated something else. They can say any words they want to say. We're on to them by now, aren't we? If you're toying with no contact and how you maintain no contact, and you decided you want no contact and you're here wondering how can I maintain it, they wronged you. So they've demonstrated they behaved against their words. There's a dissonance. No. The priority at this point should be your mental health, your healing, your well-being, your sanity. Think of how much they have not earned a place and have destroyed any chance they had to make you trust them. You don't want to be in something like this. And it's not going to change. I mean, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, I can learn to trust him again. Can you? How you maintain no contact is you have to sink yourself into the feelings that I just described. They don't warrant a place in your life of contact. You don't want to give your time and communication to someone that demonstrated to you how they feel and lied because they told you they felt an opposite way of how they treated you. It sounds easy, but I know it's hard. I used to listen to a lot of music and read the lyrics. That helped me. It's trying to go no contact, as well as counting the Sundays and thinking of all of this behavior. Some practical things I tried was I kept my mind occupied all the time. So in other words, I was listening to music, and I'm a big lyrics person, right? I like words. So I would read the lyrics. You can't do that and keep your mind on somebody else. Remember how when we were younger, those of you, I'm 54, those of you that are my age, we used to lay on our bedroom floors with album covers, and if we were lucky, the words came. I was the kid that laid there for just reading words to albums constantly. Well, now there's Google. Okay? You can look up the lyrics to things and listen to songs that it can take up hours of your time, and you can get lost in that activity. And before you know it, you're not thinking about contacting them. And you know what else? Binge watch something to stay distracted. That's a big one. I do that a lot, and I did it a lot. Oh, a lot. There were some days that I watched TV for 3 days straight, and that's not my gig. But I did not want my mind to even get blank for a second. Or maybe not binge watch the show. I might have binge watched videos on this topic. What I'm saying is binge watch something. Binge watch this channel. Every single little video will give you some kind of strength. The point is you're just making your mind occupied with something else. If music is playing or a show is going, if you're a gamer, I'm not a gamer, so there's ways you can occupy your brain so that you are not thinking about picking up the phone or answering a text or allowing them to come over or thinking about how you can bump into them or cross paths with them on social media. All of these things should be stopped. The social media thing should be stopped. And I've talked about that before, but there's 1,000,001 ways that you can keep tabs on each other on social media. No contact does involve social media. It's too tempting. No way. You want to be looking at pictures of him, or he should be looking at pictures of you, or nope. Nope. No. That has to go. Oh, but then I won't know who he is. So, you want to spy into his life? Why? That action should be part of your no contact. Make yourself not. Unfollow, unfriend, disassociate yourself from them as a conscious choice. And you know, the other thing that helped me is I imagined a life where it wasn't here. That feeling, that whole feeling, this feeling that you have right now, new people especially. I know it's awful. That undescribable feeling that none of us can explain to anybody else. So I want you to imagine that feeling goes away. It's no longer in your life. You want the feeling that encompasses you wanting to see them, reach out to them, have them in your life, have all of this truth and be not the truth. Just the overwhelming feeling that you have after this narcissistic experience. Imagine it goes away. Just imagine it for 1 second, right? And the relief you'd feel. Well, you'd have to let it go, let go of the contact for that to happen. And if you can imagine that relief from that feeling of dread and awfulness. And whatever, it's just it's a feeling, it's just that feeling. If you can imagine that relief, you may be motivated to get to that point, which would require you not to contact them. Let that motivate you, that the more you don't contact them, the sooner you will get rid of and have relief from that feeling. No contact gets you there more quickly. And it's you taking your control back. That felt good for me. Taking the control back felt good for me. That alone sustained me for a while without any of the other little tricks and trades that I use that I just told you. That helped me a lot. I wanted to gain control back of the situation, of my emotions. But it's a decision you must make. Because they may always reach out one day. So, you not talking to them because they haven't called you is not the same as no contact. Them reaching out to you and just you ignoring them can be tough. So if it's been only a few weeks and you're new at this and that, they haven't called me, it's been no contact. What will you do when they contact you? Have you made a decision that you're not going to return the response? You're not going to respond. You're not going to return the call. You're not going to react to their texts. What decision have you made? If you're in this little period during which, you broke up and they haven't contacted you and you feel okay about it, you have to decide to take control of what will happen if they do start to hoover you, if they do start to contact you. With all kinds of love bombing and whatever, picture that feeling being gone. You don't have to deal with that anymore because they're going to come back at you and that's not going to be real any more so than it was when they faltered in the first place. So you're prolonging having this feeling. This is why they say block. It does make it easier as well. You're not tempted. You don't know if they're calling you 50,000 times unless they leave you a message, which you'll find in blocked messages in voicemail, which only shows up way at the bottom if they do leave you a message. A blocked number leaves you a message. That's it. But they're taken out of your mind. You're not checking your phone if you took a shower to see if they called. They can't call. You block them. You're not poring over texts that they're sending you late at night when you're tired and crying because they try to love bomb you in text because you're not picking up the phone. You can't read that. It's not going to come in. You block them. You can't read what they're piling on if you block yourself from it. You follow what I'm saying? And it's a decision. The blocking is a decision. The no contact is a decision. It's a choice that you'll have a hard time maintaining, isn't it? The blocking too, because if you get a message, then you might think, oh, but I want them to be able to call me again, and boom, you unblock. Going back on your own decision to block them in the first place. It's going back on your own decision to maintain no contact. Well, I'm not going to answer the phone. I just want to see how many times did he call before he left that message. That's what I did. So then I'd put it back on, and I'd see him. I'd see all the calls coming through. It gave me an odd amount of satisfaction, even though I wasn't answering it. But you know what it also did? It made me end up picking up or responding. Because eventually they'll say something that gets through to you. Why? Why bother? It only prolonged me having that indescribable, that feeling that we have. It just prolonged it. Regard it as a deliberate decision you're making to expedite that feeling of relief that you seek from that feeling. You want to feel relief from that feeling, that indescribable thing, which can be like it's on your chest crushing you. You want to breathe easier. You know what I'm saying? And the sooner you separate yourself from your narcissist, the sooner you will breathe easier. Blocking makes no contact easier. No contact makes your healing easier. And it all puts you back in control of your own life. I think that we all want to be in control of our own life, right? I mean, we do. And right now is a time that we can be driven by something else. A feeling beyond our control that is greater than what feels like we can control. But it is only you. This is your life. And you can't take back that control at any moment. And the little action of no contact and blocking can really speak volumes to yourself and to the narcissist if you maintain that. That's how I did it. Good luck.